Now that we had bags and we had our bikes and we had caught the train to Perth, we were able to finally cycle in Scotland. National Cycling Route 77 runs right through Perth, so we took that leaving town, going along the River Tay. It was a lovely trail with great pavement, and then the pavement ended because they were doing some work on it. We had about 2 miles of gravel before the pavement came back, and it was a lovely trail again. We frankly didn't know what to expect from these national cycle routes, but it turns out that most of them were roads and multi-use trails. All of them very quiet, a couple of spots where we might have had a few cars, but it was just great. A couple of times we had signs that said that the road was closed ahead, but it turns out it was fine for us.
Supposedly it's still open for bicycles. We'll find out.
After a stop for lunch in Dunkeld, we went on. The day was beautiful. Blue skies, a couple of clouds, tailwind, no midges. We had empty roads with just us and sheep and heather, and almost none of the RVs that you get in the States. Well, I said almost none of the RVs.
Yeah.
It seems like it should be closed.
Well, tourists, you know.
Yeah, tourists. What you gonna do? We're now on Cycle Route 7 as well as 77, and we crossed a bridge and started a little bit of climbing. The road down into Pitlochry itself, however, was super quiet, downhill, and we just had a great time. And soon we were at our B&B, the Button Boss Lodge. We chilled for a few minutes, and then Jeff and I went to the local distillery and had a few. Jeff didn't drink, but I do, and he was just my wingman. What a guy. I'll let Carol tell you about her escapades that evening.
So while the guys were off at the distillery, I decided to do the fish ladder. A fish ladder is how the fish get from the river up and over the dam, since they don't have any feet. These are the steps that they use to take the fish from one layer to another. And here is a diagram showing you how the dam itself works. They have a counter and a camera that shows you how many fish went over the dam every day. And the view from the top of the dam was just spectacular. And the view on the other side of the dam with the river was also spectacular. I really enjoyed my walk as I had the opportunity to see the dam and to see how it worked. It's very much a tourist site for the city of Pitlochry. I went by a Kelpie carving along the way. I also had dinner at a wonderful restaurant. It was located on the corner of 2 roads so I could watch the people go by. The salmon was excellent, and I just enjoyed the fresh air.
At 60 miles with 3,000 feet of climbing, the next day was pretty tough. We started with a full Scottish breakfast at our B&B and then got out on the road, moving fairly quickly but not too fast. We didn't want to get a ticket. Again, it was a mix of roads and trails, like this one.
Well, now that is a scary sign, and this one is dire, like you're gonna die here.
Yeah, I kill me. But the road was really pretty. It was nice and quiet. Once again, no cars. Beautiful pavement, excellent weather, gorgeous scenery.
So we supposedly have 30 kilometers with no services on this, and frankly that's awesome, because this is just an awesome little road path, whatever it is. It's gorgeous. Wow.
After about 10 miles of climbing along the river, we broke out into the sunshine. Before, the climbing had been quite gentle, but now on this trail we started to have a few sections where the climbs got a little bit punchy as we were heading towards the pass. After about 5 miles of mostly heather, we reached the pass of Drumachtar, which is the highest point on any of the national cycle routes. It was a popular road, and we met other cyclists.
By the way, what's your name?
It's Alistair.
Alistair. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We were now officially in the Scottish Highlands, with views that went forever and windmills. We stopped at the apiary in Dalwhinnie for lunch. It was delicious.
That was a good place.
It was a good place.
Yeah.
Very bike friendly. We enjoyed it.
Dalwhinnie is home of the Dalwhinnie Distillery, which is a very popular single malt whiskey in the States. We didn't have time to stop there, though, and we didn't have time to stop at the next castle, or maybe we just didn't take the time. Frankly, the castle looked kind of touristy. We did stop and take some pictures of some coos, funny-looking cows, and I stopped and took some video of this beautiful lichen-covered wall. I kind of geek out on lichen. A few miles later we got to Aviemore, a slightly busier tourist location than Pitlochry. There were some cars and we had a little bit of trouble getting into town, but soon we were at our hotel. We got cleaned up, did some laundry, tried to get dinner reservations at the Italian place next door, but couldn't. So we went down the road, had some fish and chips, and I had my first urn brew. It was delicious. Next week we go to Inverness and stop at Culloden and ask the question, who decided to fight here? It's swampy. See you then.